Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so sorry that I'm a bit late this afternoon. I had an appointment that just overran, so apologies. But I'm home now and back looking at our pop-up nativity. So if you missed yesterday, what I did was showed you our little nativity advent calendar that Billy and I have this year, where we basically build a little character or piece of the nativity every day throughout Advent. I also explained that it's been a bit of a stretch. For example, this little guy here, it's a little cat. Never knew that a cat was a nativity, but there we go. Yesterday we talked about the story of the innkeeper and also the angel. Today I bring to you our first of 3 wise men. So I'm going to build this little guy as part of mine and Billy's Advent calendar, nativity calendar. And I wanted to reflect a little bit on the story of the wise men, or 3 kings, so kind of whatever your version says. So we know that the visit of the wise men was because they saw this glorious star in the east. No, the star must have been in the west if they came from the east. But something that I have been reflecting on a little bit, actually, since we did a little study with our home group last week, I believe, on the story of the wise men. And what we talked about was their perseverance and their trust in what they believed God was doing. Their eyes were open enough to see spiritually, as well as just physically, to see that the star meant something. They didn't just kind of blindly say, oh, look, there's a bright star, which I'm sure that many of us would do, and perhaps we're justified in assuming that there's nothing particularly special about a bright star. But they knew their scriptures, and they knew that a star, where it was, because they were also probably astronomers, meant something significant. Because it says in Micah chapter 5 verse 2 that out of Bethlehem, the smallest of all the tribes of Israel, out of Bethlehem would come the Messiah. So when they saw this star in the distance, they must have connected that with the scriptures that they knew. But we also have the impression when we read the Bible, it's Matthew chapter 2 if you want to read the story of the wise men who I've just built. Is he missing an arm? Oh no, I think he's okay. Poor guy. Sorry, my brain isn't quite there today. So in Matthew chapter 2, if you read the story, it's very easy to just think that the wise men made a quick journey, like a couple of days, and when they got there, Jesus was born. But actually that journey could have been a very long time. We're thinking like perhaps years even, that they trekked through the desert, through towns, through villages, because they persevered at trusting that that star was no ordinary star. That star was an indication of something amazing happening. Now, there might be things in your life, or in my life even, where we feel like God has revealed something, or we feel like something is coming, something is going to happen, and it might feel like a real slog to get there, especially perhaps in the context of this year. It might feel like the whole year has been a bit of a slog, like walking through treacle. But just like the wise men persevered, they, years and years, they might have thought at some point, you know what, maybe it's not worth it. Let's just turn back. Let's just go home. But actually, every single time any of those doubts probably came around, they thought, no, we believe that God is doing something amazing. It might be quite difficult to say that for yourself today, but I would encourage you, because it's something that I believe, that even in the midst of a global pandemic, God is doing something good. God is doing something good. Persevere. Do not give in to that temptation that says, you know what, is this all even worth it? I'm just going to turn around. Keep your eyes fixed on Christ. Keep walking, because God is doing something good on the horizon. There's our story from our wise men today. I said a minute ago that I was worried he'd lost an arm, but actually all of our little characters only have one arm. There you go. Thank you for joining me today, and apologies again that I was a little late today. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you again very soon. In the meantime, stay safe, take care, God bless.